What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I am going to show you how to bleed the brakes out of one of these third generation Toyota Prius, or if you have a first generation Toyota Prius V, this procedure will work for it as well. This video will be simply how to bleed the brake system. If you guys want to see how to replace the accumulator and the booster pump, I have a separate video for that as well. But in this video, it will solely be bleeding the brakes after you have repaired or replaced the ABS actuator. Now, I already have a scan tool connected to the car. If you don't have access to a Toyota scanner, you need to shop around to make sure you can find one or rent one that will give you the access to bleed the brake system. Otherwise, this will be impossible. So now that we have our scan tool connected, we are going to look for ABS traction control. So under the ABS module, we are going to click it. Now, after you open it up, you'll find a whole bunch of DTCs that are set. That's okay. First thing I like to do is just clear them out, because it's going to narrow down the list of all the unwanted DTCs I don't want there. So as you can see, the list has shrunken down a little bit. Now I'm going to make my way to utilities. Now you'll see utility is located right there in the top left corner. We're going to click that. Once we click it, you'll see a series of options pop up. ABS history, air bleeding, ECBR, utility. We are going to look for air bleeding. That's the only thing we care about at this point right now. All right, I'm gonna go next on the GTS Plus scanner. Wait for it to populate. Now, I'm sure the setup would be a little different on there with different scanners, but this is how it's set up under the Toyota scanner. So here it's telling you to welcome to air bleeding utilities. Make sure the fluid doesn't drop below a minimum. We don't want that. So we're gonna see two options from here. Usual air bleeding, ABS actuator has been replaced. We're gonna click on that. That's what we just did. And we're gonna go up and click next. Now it wants you to confirm the following conditions and then press next. The vehicle is stopped, the parking brake is applied, power switch is on, ready off, and reservoir level switch is disconnected. So here we are making sure we're doing a double check. You can see the ignition switch is on, the parking brake is applied. And now I'm gonna check to make sure I have my brake fluid master reservoir is disconnected. So that's what I'm doing right now. As you can see, the plug is out. And it's crucial because if you don't have these steps completed the way it wants, or you're not following it completely, the air bleeding will fail. Now I'm gonna go back to the scan tool. I confirm all of these followings are true. And I'm gonna go ahead and click next. Now, once I click next, you see it wants me to loosen the bleeder plug of the right rear wheel with the brake pedal held down. Now, this bleeding system right here is going to use the ABS pump. I'm not going to do the traditional old school method, pump, and release with a helper. I'm going to hold down the brake pedal, and then I'm going to loosen up the right rear wheel. So here I have the brake pedal depressor right there on the brake pedal. Following the instruction on the screen, I make my way towards the right rear wheel. With the brake pedal held down, I'm going to crack the bleeder screw open. Now, at this point, the ABS pump is doing all the work. And I like to use a clear hose connected to the caliper because I get to see if all the air pockets and air bubbles make their way out. So right here, I can see a nice clear stream of brake fluid flowing through the hose. I know all the air bubbles and air pockets are out. So I'm going to tighten up the bleeder screw and make my way towards the scanner. So that's, at this point right here, a brake pedal depressor is good. You don't really need the help of an assistant. Now, if somebody wants to help you out, it's excellent. But me, I like to bleed it by myself, so I don't have to bother nobody. So first thing I do is remove the brake pedal depressor and make my way back toward the tech stream. So now we have completed the right rear wheel. I'm going to click next. Now it wants me to do the rear left. I know it's crazy the way it kind of words it, but RL is rear left. So again, I'm going to apply the brake pedal depressor, but I want to make sure I have brake fluid. I'm not running low, so I want to keep the reservoir topped off. So of course, if it runs empty, you're back to square one. You're going to have to bleed it all over again. So now I'm at the rear left wheel. Same thing. With the brake pedal depressed, I'm going to crack it open. Like I said, all you need is a scan tool that gives you the capability to be able to do this. And it's not really too difficult. All you got to do is make sure you follow the instruction on the scanner. So I can see a nice stream of brake fluid coming out. I'm going to tighten up the bleeder screw, make my way towards the GTS Plus scanner, remove the brake pedal depressor, and now let's see what's next on the instruction. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and click next. Now see how it switched up the wording? Now it wants me to depress the brake pedal several times. So now we're going back to the old school pump method for the FL, front left. So after the fluid stops, tighten up the bleeder screw. So now I could still do this with my brake pedal depressor. I'm just gonna pump a couple times. So after I finish pumping the brake pedal, I got the brake pedal depressor applied, and I'm gonna crack the front left wheel bleeder screw. So at this point right here, we're going back to the old school method, pump, and hold, and then crack the bleeder screw. So after we do that several times, we're done with the front left. I'm gonna click next. It's gonna want us to do the same thing for the front right. Depress the brake pedal several times and then loosen up the bleeder screw. And repeat until you see all the air stop coming out or the old fluid stops coming out. So right here, it would be good to have an assistant. So here is the disadvantage of the brake pedal depressor. So in between take, I'm literally walking back and forth to pump, and hold. That's the only disadvantage of having a brake pedal depressor. So if you have a helper, this step right here will be a lot easier. So right when I'm done, I'm gonna click next. Now it wants me to perform the stroke simulator air bleeding procedure. So after pressing next, please perform the following. It wants me to bleed the air from the stroke simulator. I'm gonna show you guys in a minute. So here we're still doing the old school method, pump, and hold as we bleed the stroke simulator. So we're gonna leave it right here on the screen. Again, back with the help of a brake pedal depressor, we're gonna pump the brakes and then we're gonna hold it. So I got the brake pedal depressor holding and applying pressure to the brake pedal. Now this is what we're gonna wanna bleed. That is the stroke simulator. As you can see, it has a bleeder screw right there. And it's gonna be the same concept, no different than bleeding a caliper. So pump, and hold. I got my hose connected to it. I got a 10mm wrench, and I'm gonna crack it open. And then I'm gonna tighten the bleeder screw, walk back over to the brake pedal depressor. So in between take, that's what I have to do. And I'm gonna do this several times until I see a nice stream of brake fluid coming out. I don't wanna see no air bubbles. So the stroke simulator, the only purpose of it is to give you a feel of a regular master cylinder. So the Prius, it has an electronic ABS master cylinder, that big unit you see there. It would not feel like a normal brake pedal. So that stroke simulator's only purpose is to give you the feel of a regular brake pedal. Now that we have completed the air bleeding of the stroke simulator, we're gonna make our way back to the text stream or GTS Plus. We're gonna click next. And now we're gonna go back to the computerized way. Loosen the bleeder plug of the front left wheel with the brake pedal held down. So now the ABS pump will assist you in bleeding the air out of the brake lines. So we have our brake pedal depressor held down. I'm gonna do a double check on my reservoir, make sure our fluid is still topped off. Now the ABS pump, once I crack this bleeder screw loose, will help me pump the fluid out. So here I don't have to do the pump method for the front left. I'm just gonna keep it open for maybe a good 5 seconds or so. I don't see any air bubbles coming out. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten it up. I'm gonna take off my brake pedal depressor before clicking next. Go back to the scan tool. So front left wheel is completed. Now it's gonna want me to do the front right. Same process. I'm gonna apply the brake pedal depressor, make sure my reservoir is still topped off because it pumps the fluid out with a lot of pressure. So you guys definitely wanna have a hose connected to the bleeder screw anytime the ABS pump is helping you push the air out. Same thing for the front right. Open the bleeder screw with the brake pedal held down and close it back up. Now, once we have that completed, we make our way back to the text stream. Just constantly walking back to the bleeder screw, text stream, bleeder screw, text stream. I know it's a little repetitive, guys, but these steps must be followed carefully, otherwise it will fail. So now we're gonna click next on our GTS Plus scanner. Let's see what it wants us to do. Now it wants us to confirm we have did the bleeding of the stroke simulator and the bleeding of the front left and the front right wheel. Now we click next. Now it's gonna wanna zero down for about 90 seconds. So at this point, you wanna make sure the fluid is nice and topped off. All these steps are done. So after 90 seconds, it wants to lower the accumulator pressure. It's gonna wanna do this 6 times. It takes about 10 seconds. So now we have 1 of 6. Now the timer is gonna count it down. You don't do anything, guys. Don't touch the brake pedal, don't do anything. So here it wants you to click next after the ABS pump motor stops. So right now the ABS pump motor is actually buzzing. Let me show you guys where it would be located. If you look down right there underneath the reservoir, you see the ABS pump right there. So right now it's buzzing for maybe about 5 seconds or so. So the instruction wants you to click next after the ABS pump motor stops. So when it stops, I'm gonna go on the next screen. Now you see it says 2 out of 6 on the screen. Now it's doing the 0 down again. Takes about 10 seconds. So after it does this about 6 times, I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward it. Same thing, it's gonna want the ABS pump to stop first before clicking next. Now it's gonna get repetitive. So like I said, we're up 2 or 6. I'm just gonna go ahead and fast forward. So you guys don't have to see this a total of 6 times. So after we're done, it wants us to refill the reservoir tank with the brake fluid level to the max. So right now it's like a little bit like right there at the max. So I'm good. I don't have to worry about that. Make my way back to the computer and we're gonna go ahead and click next. So after the ABS pump motor stops, turn the power switch off. So right now I'm just listening closely to make sure I don't hear the pump going off. I wanna make sure it stops running like the instruction says. So after that, I'm gonna make sure I power off the switch. Like I said, this is not a rush kind of job. So you just wanna make sure you follow the instruction closely so you don't have to start all over again. And then I'm gonna reconnect my reservoir level sensor. Like I said, we're just doing what it says on the computer screen. And then I'm gonna go ahead and click next. So I confirm the pump stopped turning, it will stop running, switch is off, and the connector is connected. Now it wants me to turn the power switch back on, ready off. So I don't wanna start the Prius, guys. I just wanna have key on, ready off. So I'm gonna hit the button twice, make sure all my lights are on. So now I know the car is in key on mode and I'm gonna release the parking brake. Just like the instructions said. Now it's getting ready to do the linear valve offset. So that's pretty much the calibration of the ABS unit that you just put in. So now it's gonna say processing, don't touch anything again. Now the brake warning light should be blinking slowly when the calibration procedure is complete. We're gonna go ahead and see it on the screen right there. So as you can see, the traction control light and the ABS light are all going off. The ABS light is blinking fast, while the ABS on the right, the one with the drum with the exclamation mark, is blinking slowly. So how do we know when this linear valve offset is complete? Well, the drum with the exclamation mark in the middle will start blinking fast, just like the ABS light on the left. So that's what I'm monitoring to make sure it happens first before I move forward. So I'm just keeping an eye on it. You see the ABS light is blinking a lot faster. I'm waiting for that one on the right next to it to pick up and blink at the same speed. So I just wait. It usually takes about a good 15 seconds. And now there you go. It's all blinking at the same pace and same speed. I know the linear valve offset is complete. And after it's done, it wants me to apply the parking brake. Make our way back toward the text stream. It said, please apply the parking brake when the brake warning light starts blinking quickly. And that's what we waited to confirm. And now we click next and air bleeding is complete. So that part, as you can see, nothing failed because we followed all the steps closely. You also have like 2 DTCs left that are set, the master reservoir and accumulator pressure. We're gonna clear those DTCs out just to make sure everything is in good order. As you can see, nothing repopulates. So now we're not exactly done yet because I still have the wheel off the ground. I'm gonna go back to the main menu because now we gotta do a test mode. Test mode is setting the yaw rate sensor. So I'm gonna power the switch off and get ready to put my wheels back on. As you can see, the wheels are still off. And to do the test mode in the yaw rate sensor calibration, I need to have the wheels on the ground with the wheel in the straight ahead position. So I got my reservoir level topped off, the plug is connected. I got the wheel wheel is on the car. I have the car on the ground. I'm getting ready to calibrate the yaw rate sensor. And the whole time I just leave my computer scanner connected because I know I'm gonna need it again. So now this step is crucial, guys. After you replace the ABS pump, you need to do the yaw rate sensor calibration. Otherwise, while driving, you could have drivability issues with the ABS light coming on during U-turns and aggressive turning. So you want to make sure the car knows the lateral motion and the acceleration, all that stuff. It gets a little complex, but that's the sole purpose. It needs to know when the wheel is straight ahead, the car is leveled. So that's where we're going at. Again, under ABS and under utility, this time we're going to go under test mode. Now I said this function is used to calibrate the yaw rate sensor after replacement of the following components: ABS ECU or the yaw rate sensor. In our case, we did the ABS ECU. And now it wants us, like I said, to have the vehicle on a level surface, steering wheel in a straight ahead position. So we just do a double confirmation, making sure the wheel is in a straight ahead position. Usually I like to use the plastic trim panels right behind it to kind of give me an idea of when the wheel is actually straight. I don't use the dash, I just use the little cover behind it. And now we're getting ready to start our yaw rate sensor calibration. Now we're going to click next to proceed. It takes about 5 seconds to do, give or take. Now the light's going to blink again. After the 5 seconds, you want to keep the vehicle stationary at this point. Don't apply the brakes, don't move the car, don't turn the wheel. And it wants you to follow the instruction in the repair manual for wait time. So usually this is about a good 5-10 seconds. So when the ABS and the VSC light blinks, the calibration is complete. So here we see the VSC and the ABS light both blinking. So we know the calibration is complete. So at this point, you're pretty much all set with the air bleeding procedure for the ABS actuator after replacing it. Now we're going to go back under DTC to make sure no DTCs are set. And they look like there's none there. So we are good to go. Now I'm going to exit home, get ready to disconnect the scan tool. So that's pretty much all that's involved in bleeding the brakes out of a 3rd generation Toyota Prius and a 1st generation Toyota Prius V. Now I don't have the cal panel and the wiper arms and all these other components installed yet. I just wanted to make this video to show you guys how to bleed the brake system out of one of these vehicles. So if you guys want to watch how to replace it, please check out the video above. I hope you guys found this video informative. And if you did, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. As always, thanks for watching.